Welcome back to Kicking the Nuts, because the hits keep on coming. This has been an unbelievable, unprecedented, how's your weekend been, weekday, since we came at you with the final breakdown to the main event yesterday. We're coming at you here at LaTB, special appearance. It's been too crazy of a day. Lesbo, you obviously been getting down on the Twitterverse. You know what's going down. Holy, unbelievable, what Spaghetti Monster, whoever you believe in, this was unreal.
What's John Jones done now?
He's got a couple under his belt, so.
Okay, just kidding.
That is a good one.
So where do we start? We should start at the beginning.
We last
came to them.
So
and we were all caught up.
Presser.
We waited until after the press conference.
We gave you guys a main
caught up. There was
event.
no new MMA news that we had.
We were waiting for weigh-ins because, again, people might not make weigh-ins. We were saying we're still holding on by the skin of our teeth, but we were expecting...
And this was a doomed card from the beginning. We were just saying... I figured out why Khabib Ferguson's a doomed card from the beginning.
Okay.
And time travelers might be setting stuff up just so this doesn't happen, because when Khabib and Tony finally meet, it makes the Earth switch poles and it flies off its axis and into the infinite abyss. Like, it's really just saving all of us. They can never meet inside the octagon. So all these little things keep having to come to pass, and so already makes for weird events. And then you got this guy that we can't even get to him, because I think the first event that starts it out, the more research I've done, is Khabib in his camp corner Artem Lobov in the hallway.
After the presser.
Because we were all caught up.
So this is the timeline we're on, okay?
We were all caught up. We're starting with here. If you need any before here, we have 2 more shows for this so that you can check back on. And you can find those everywhere you like to subscribe to your podcast or YouTube. This episode will only be coming at you on YouTube. This is a YouTube exclusive episode.
Exclusive. So like and subscribe. Hit that little bell as well.
Yeah. We're putting this special out for you.
This is just such groundbreaking stuff. Not groundbreaking.
I'm in my
MMA
PJs
history.
over here. I'm in my PJs.
This is just UFC history. We've never seen anything like this.
I'm in my jammies.
The closest other guy that I can think of is Tank Abbott, the professional street fighter who won a championship that UFC refuses to talk about. He was also like a biker, kind of tough guy. He got in a fight a few times backstage and was almost shot by a state trooper before he went out on stage to fight. In the early days, like UFC 9 and 6 type of era. So that's the only type of person, but he didn't have the stardom of Conor. Conor has TMZ
let's talk with
watching
Khabib.
him nonstop.
Let's start with
and the
Khabib
presser, he corners Lobov. Does he caress Lobov's face? Does he say, Lobov, you might want to come to my camp?
I have to say, honestly.
I love you,
And
Lobov.
maybe this is
I love you.
my American conspiracy theory, like...
Russian blood, homie?
I felt like he put his hand behind Artem's neck in a power manner like a mafioso guy would do.
Totally.
I felt like it was a power move all day.
100%.
And imagine Khabib, I don't even know what was said in the little whatever, but Khabib looked very much bigger than Artem with a whole gaggle of people, and Conor wasn't there yet, so Artem was alone. He probably even said something, but whatever Khabib says is in that cold ass tone that he's probably like, where's your boy Conor now?
Yep. And then he put his arm around him like, you ain't gonna do shit, sucker.
Yeah.
And he did it. And Lobov did it because he was like, I'll stay in my place. We'll get there. Lobov, because he did. He stood down and they were just talked a little bit of shit to each other and went off. But then, after the presser, this goes into the following day, right? Because this was today that this happened. Which is Thursday, the 5th?
I don't know.
Yes, all right. Thursday, April 5th. Either way, Conor McGregor shows up to the press conference.
He gets to New York City.
Okay.
And, no, the press conference isn't until tomorrow. They might have had a media day or something going on.
Something like that, yep.
They had a media day going on, and the Mac Life guys opened the door and let Conor and 20 of his dudes into the arena. Like, into the media.
So why was Mac Life there?
Because they have a media, they have a whole...
So just saying that dropping dimes on suckers, because people even thinking that Conor wasn't going to be there, you stupid.
We've been telling you for months.
I'm just
months
sorry.
And months. Every New York City card, Conor, if he's not fighting in it, he's showing up.
Yeah, there's no way around it. No way around it.
But the Mac Life guys, the other thing I want to throw out is, hey, Dana White, Lesbo and the Bean wouldn't mind the press credentials that Mac Life should be losing.
I ain't letting nobody in.
I won't let nobody in.
I'll kick someone out. I'll help kick someone out if you need it.
My wife will be at the door like, it's cold out here. And I'm like, can't do
Sorry,
it, babe.
girl.
Can't do it. I love you. I love you.
So, with this
they let
media day,
him and 20 guys in. They storm the place. Go all the way down. I hope they get word, whatever. They run all the way down to the bottom floor, apparently, where the buses were picking up the other fighters and maybe bringing them into the media day or taking them out.
They were taking him out.
Taking him out of the media day.
But it was all the red corners.
There's two different buses. You can see both.
One's the blue corner, though, for the whole
Yes.
fight. And they're usually opposing teams. They try to put them together.
Yeah.
So it was, who was in the bus?
Chiesa, Page.
No, Chiesa,
I'm so
Herring.
sorry. No.
Felice Herring was in there. Borg. Who else? Khabib.
Rose. That's what I meant.
Rose.
No,
Khabib. Yes, these were people were all in it.
Felice is in the other bus. Felice was filming.
Oh, she was from the other side. Okay,
Felice
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Rose and Chiesa were in the bus that got shattered window.
So was Ray Borg.
And Ray Borg.
Yep.
And
And
there
Khabib.
was other people.
And Khabib was in there.
And there was somebody
And
working
Alib
for the
Abdelaziz.
UFC that got his knuckle broken.
Khabib Abdelaziz was also kicking, trying to get off of the bus. Like, let me at him, like, oh,
And
your boy's
on
under
the
arrest.
other bus, I think that's where Felice, because a lot of the
that's
footage
right.
that we see is from Felice Herring's phone.
Saying it's Conor McGregor, saying it's fucking
Yeah,
Conor.
this is crazy.
He's being an
Conor.
asshole. And you see Conor through multiple angles that have come out already. This is on TMZ Sports. This is all sorts of news.
It's gonna be on Lesbo the Bean. Why are you throwing that stuff out there?
So either way, you see Conor running with the great. He gets over to a scaffolding. No, before that, he got over to a dolly and threw a dolly through the bus windshield, crashing into the bus windshield.
No, I think you're right. The scaffolding first, someone stops him. Then he goes and tries to grab a trash can, can't get it or something.
Right.
It might be, you hear like clong, 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 and then he grabs the dolly.
The dolly. Which I gotta say real quick, that bodyguard, I notice him because he's a freaking Shrek amongst all of these fighters. He mostly towers them. That big Eastern looking dude. You know who I'm talking about, the bald guy?
He looks like...
He grabbed that grate in the air.
No, you always talk about the guy from that trash TV show where the guy, he also has his own show now, but he used to be the bodyguard on that talk show.
Steve Wilco or whatever? Yes!
Yes.
Him! That dude, for Dana, Dana's number one muscle, grabbed that grate from Conor, like out of the air.
It was...
He was like, whoop, and no one's talking about it. I want to try to get a gif of it.
It was like John Anik's mic drop.
It was so dope.
Yeah, nobody hit the ground.
He needs a bonus.
It was a Matrix moment.
It would have been so many windows on that bus, and we would have had more fights falling out because that's when it finished. That was pretty much it. He kept storming around. The buses went out. They exited. They closed the gates, and everybody was like, "Fuck off."
We get wind throughout after all the turmoil, all the dust clears that. Michael Chiesa has cuts on his face, lacerations. He has to go to the hospital.
Yep.
There's a UFC employee with a broken knuckle.
Ray Borg was sitting next to Michael Chiesa, got glass but no cuts.
And then
Rose Namajunas was shooken. She was shook. She was shook.
But there was this time that she thought she broke her hand.
Oh, I didn't know that one. I didn't even see that. But.
And I don't know if that's hot rumor.
So she is confirmed though. So far, let's break the good news. Rose was iffy. People were iffy.
Good news first.
I think good news first because there's so much.
I'm always like, hit me with the bad.
Hit me with the bad news. Well,
this just happened. Late breaking.
Late breaking. I get Artem Lobov has already been pulled off with Alex Caceres due to Lobov being a part of that hit squad on the bus.
I asked why, naively, said, why is Lobov having to pay for... I mean, we all know why Lobov fights in the UFC.
Sure,
we all
course.
know. But it was like, hey, why is he having to pay... Oh, I didn't know he was part of the hit squad. Okay, my bad.
Yep. So, Lobov's off. Caceres is off. That gets us to 12.
Caceres should get replaced. I've seen a couple guys on Twitter say, hey, I'll fight Bruce Leroy. And I'm like, come on, let's do it.
There's New Yorkers all day that'll step in for that. Yeah.
I'll fight Bruce Leroy. If it'll get Lesbo and the Bean some likes and listens, I'll fight Bruce Leroy.
But I want to say, take that down. That leaves us to what? We still have 12 cards now. Maybe 11.
No, not 12.
It's already at 11?
That would have been, once Artem fell off, it was 11. Once Chiesa...
Who just lay breaking. It has been official as of 5 minutes ago. Chiesa was in the hospital. People were thinking it was going to fight. But that has now been officially called off. Pettis versus Chiesa. I was going to make some big money moves on Chiesa. Total bullshit. This is why we're bringing this number 1 and 2 bullshit happening. I still think that Khabib and Max is in the air. I still think that they need to make weight tomorrow.
Both guys need to
yes,
make weight.
And this affects everybody. This is unlike other stuff. I also tend to think that with
Joanna still needs to make weight.
Agree. She looked good though. I saw some Instagram videos.
Good.
She was looking good. She was looking thinner.
I've heard Joanna and Khabib are already on weight.
I've heard that as well, and if not very close. But who knows? Ray Borg might have got a little shook.
Oh, I forgot. What about Ray Borg?
And he misses weight. How often?
Yeah.
So
there's much that could still go through.
So much. We gotta watch weigh-ins, and then even we're not safe with this card after weigh-ins. We're not safe.
You're gonna end up by the time it's all said and done with Zabit as your main event.
That's it. One fight card.
Zabit.
Just
alone,
Zabit.
standing there.
So we still right as of right now, both title contending bouts are on the rocks because Rose could still fall out because she's already been on that, and they still got to make weight in the main event. There's also Ray Borg's iffy if he's going to be fighting. We have Lobov pulled. We have Chiesa pulled. Who else could have been on that bus or anything weird's happening? What other fights are in contention?
This is the thing that is so stupid. Let's just talk about Conor for a minute. Like, the card...
What happens?
Yeah.
Happens?
Let's just talk for a minute. This is the stupidest thing. Hey, everyone knows you are worth minimum, let's say, $90 million.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone in the whole little area that you were just at acting like an asshole. I guarantee you, every single person involved in that whole fiasco has a lawyer that's suing McGregor. And even if he has to settle for, I'm going to have post-traumatic stress now every time I'm in a parking garage. Are you serious, you nitwit? Are you serious? Not to mention, now, Mike Chiesa, this is where you're freaking so... I hate to say it as a fight fan, but you pull out, you can almost guarantee your win bonus in court.
Oh, not even that. Big checks, big money days are coming in for Michael Chiesa.
It's even more so if you don't fight.
Yep, because he can say, I would have won a bonus plus this. It could have been fight of the night.
Yeah, and it stopped me from climbing rung. Like, the time I'm not there, it was the biggest card of the year.
Big checks. It was
my biggest fight ever.
I think that there's multiple people, not only
Dana
Chiesa,
White's going to sue McGregor. McGregor's going to be having to fight again. He's going to have to pay so much money for the UFC can now sue Conor McGregor. That
Burger King deal might be shriveling up. So we all know what too many spicy chicken sandwiches can do to you. Proof. Just saying. I was tooting that horn. I didn't get no sponsors. Spicy chicken sandwiches. You got to go to that Chick-fil-A. Dang, I can't say that.
Chick-fil-A.
I can't say that. Can't say that.
You got to cook at home.
You got to cook at home. Yep.
Shop local.
So, either way, back to Conor. The checks he's going to have to write. The UFC staff member who broke their knuckle. Done. Anybody else who might have fallen over on their knee has an open lawsuit.
The whole event now.
Do you think
if they have
fans...
they can, because of the BS, they said, hey, our company's worth $4 billion, and they're like, oh, okay. Like, whatever they want to say goes.
Yep.
So if they already know, it's almost like he saved the card.
Because this is so much more hype. As I was saying before, this is hitting mainstream news. That's how unique of a situation we're in right now.
And what Schaub said, which is kind of true, he all of a sudden, if you were a betting man of somebody, I pick Max as the underdog, but if you're somebody who's like super intelligent and you were betting your life on it, you put Khabib everywhere.
Of course.
and that there's a good chance he ragdolls Ferguson. Now, look at all this publicity that Conor has built for this huge worldwide event of Khabib versus Conor.
You're thinking that this side hype is gonna bring in so many more views?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it makes people interested in Khabib. All of a sudden, Batman is nobody. He's just a weirdo in a costume unless there's the Joker.
Of course. So
I think Conor is... I don't even think he minds playing heel. Because he's not like, oh, I'm American versus Russia. It's not our idea of our country's, like, oh, the Red Scare, our idea. It's his own thing. So I think it's like an interesting... It makes it like if Khabib wants to be the good guy, well, Conor, because Conor hasn't changed face. Like it's like the same as everyone talking about Ronda. Nope, Ronda's always been that bitch.
Yep. So same with JBJ.
Yeah, he's always been that.
This
dick.
is as much as I like to talk shit and say all of this stuff. The Stoic Samurai is not what everybody does. When you put a rowdy ass dude who fights for a living in real world society, they might not all be samurais. Some of them might be stone cold murderers that fight to not have to murder people in their lives. Like, legitimately.
Yeah.
There is very unique individuals that take up this sport for many reasons. Some real good, some not. Some because they're wild and they can't get a bank job. They hold that bank up. Hence, who's the fighter who has the biggest bank robbery of all time? We're setting up McGregor to be the next Murphy, who's Lee Murphy. He ended up going in history as the biggest sum of money ever robbed from a British bank. Lee Murphy was a part of it. UFC maybe 2 and 3. Yeah, UFC doesn't talk about him too much.
Conor.
That's what we're saying. There. He's gonna have to write checks. He's gonna have to fucking come in. Boy, Lobov right on the side. I got the movie written. I got the movie written down.
Luke Thomas said, "This is unforgivable." Is it though?
Bitch ass Luke Thomas.
Is it though?
Bitch ass Luke.
It's not quite. He didn't
hit a pregnant woman while on coke. Which I gotta say, first thing I thought when this broke, when we were communicating via text, that yayo is strong in New York.
Yeah, he's not droning people.
That yayo is strong in New York, though.
It's like there's just things that it's like there is so many there's things that are unforgivable in life.
Sure.
Throwing a tool through a automobile is one of them.
Do you think?
I'm glad no one was hurt.
There was people hurt.
I'm glad no one was killed.
Okay, just saying. A broken knuckle and lacerations on your face.
It sucks that people were hurt. They will get way more money than their body parts are injured. Everyone involved will get compensated for this event.
Mike Chiesa's biggest UFC paycheck ever.
It surely will be.
It really will be. Breaking LaTB.
I'm not saying anything. Like, I think it's a dick move on Conor. I still want to know the whole thing. I think you're right. I think there's some kind of drugs. There's his own hype train. Like, I don't know if he quite buys the whole character or what he's doing, but all of a sudden, biggest UFC event we've talked about in 2 years, and all we can do right now is talk about fucking Conor.
Agree. He knows how to put himself in the limelight, but it is one of those John Jones situations, I think, where eventually it's going to be like, all right, dude, it's too much.
Unless he didn't really mean to break the window at all.
There's no way he did it. When you grab a grate and freaking Shrek grabs it out of the air from you, like that.
No, he did it. It was a total dick. I just think something...
But this is where I think even the drugs make more sense. If we take a step back, he's there to support his homeboy. He's training, but he's not in USADA because he's not in the fight pool. So if there was a time to fucking smoke weed, do coke, or whatever you're going to do, now's the time, right?
I don't know. Do you want to test dirty if you're McGregor from some dirty ass cocaine?
But it's out of your system so quickly.
And the cocaine might be out of your system quickly, but whatever it's mixed with might not be. And that's what they say John Jones could have had happen.
But that's where I'm saying this might have been legit dope. Where he was like, oh, I usually do this big alliance, and he was getting that pure shit, and all of a sudden he's...
Do you think at all, UFC conspiracy... that this is all a wrestling event we're seeing go down?
No. With taking Lobov, that wouldn't make sense. And it makes sense to me why they take Lobov off. because Conor would say, if he's fighting, I'm going to be there. Booyaka shot, get your ass out of there. No warrant, though, has officially been set, right?
No, that was Dana just talking shit. And then the other thing Dana
Which
said,
is bing, 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 bing.
Yeah.
Clickbait, clickbait, clickbait.
Everybody's paying attention. 223, 223, 223, UFC 223. We're paying attention.
That's a good point.
They shake hands. And then this is my favorite thing that Dana said when they're like, are you going to do business with Conor again? Would you do business with him? Yes! Yes! When Conor, if all business dries up, you hit up Lesbo with a bean. We got you. Yes.
I know how to make a mean spicy chicken sandwich, homie. I'm just saying.
No, maybe way better than Burger King.
Maybe. I'm just saying, you don't know till you try it.
I'll make you a throne. I'll make you your own paper hat, paper crown. Yeah.
Where else do we go with this debacle? Some people say it's the most disgraceful thing we've ever seen in the UFC. I don't necessarily think so. I think I made a really good claim saying Lee Murray's kind of has a whole orchestrated hit on an entire bank, which I don't care that he did that, but I'm just saying that's a legitimate crime where this is just that window got broken.
A lot of UFC fighters like beat the fuck out of their wives.
I saw an announcer once throw a shoe at a guy.
Yeah, so
it's happened before. Wild dudes do wild shit, and we are like, what? Why? How? Oh my gosh, you're so violent. Yeah, it's your job.
You're a fighter.
It's your job to be violent. But it all inches on those Mac Life guys, right? Because they let him in the door. It's all on those Mac Life guys.
No, it's on Conor. And
also, yeah, totally, because he was fucking.
And the Mac Life guys, everybody.
And his crew,
everybody
his whole
involved,
crew.
They're rich. His crew can say
what this also does, where it's so game changing, this is where UFC sets up rules that they didn't even have before. So other people can't even do. Khabib's entourage and all these dudes' entourage is going to be like, you're going to have your coaches there and that's it, or you don't go on the card. Like all this 20 bird bullshit people, get a ticket. Like
nobody has entourages like Conor. He's all of a sudden
Khabib
like a boxer.
was rolling with like 7-8 dudes.
Well, wasn't he rolling with like his crew, and then he has the Khabib fans everywhere in every hotel?
Yeah, but his crew's still like 8 or 10 deep. That's so that's substantial.
Well, all your coaches and stuff.
But that's only like 4 guys. Then he's got like 6 dudes that he's just paying every meal. They're out there to train him to help him get ready.
I don't think Khabib has even close to Conor money.
Supposedly he does though. Supposedly in Russia he's got as big a deals, as big a paychecks, and it's been proven.
I'm just saying.
But it's that dude that rich dude that's genociding gays in Russia. That's the money. That's why they don't talk about it.
Only has 200,000 followers on Twitter.
All those Russian bots, saying. I know, $15 will buy you a whole lot more than that.
That's what I'm saying. 200,000 followers. That's it.
Khabib, the real Khabib.
Take a gander. Take a gander. I think there's this big bubble built about him and his fame and how big he is in Russia. Like we can't figure that out. I watch Russian TV all the time. Khabib isn't even in the top 5 biggest stars in Russia, sports stars.
Interesting. So are you saying
I think there's bigger ballerinas. I think there's bigger soccer stars. I think there's bigger hockey players. Like, I just think there's other... I'm not saying Khabib won't get up there, but he doesn't wear gold. I think he has to have the gold for his country to give a shit.
247,000?
Yeah, that's what I just said. He has 200,000 followers.
I guess it looks bigger when I look at it. When you say it's minuscule, but that's...
I'm just saying it's no Justin Bieber.
True.
He's no Conor McGregor. Not even close. Conor has probably like 4 million followers. I'm just guessing. He's no Nate Diaz, I bet. He's no Nick Diaz.
7.1 million Twitter followers for Conor McGregor. I bet you he gained 2 million today.
But I bet you Nate Diaz has between 1.5. I bet you Nick Diaz has 700. They all have more. I can think of
1 million for Nate Diaz.
So,
yep.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I think everybody's buying onto this bubble of how big Khabib is, and I think he might be the best. I don't even know if he is the best wrestler in Russia. I don't know. Because if he was the best wrestler in Russia, is he going to go toward MMA?
But that's the thing. He does have a bunch of accolades and all that, but it's the fact that it's not just wrestling. It's MMA now. He uses his wrestling in MMA, but he is totally elite from what I've understood as well. Then again, I don't know the Russian scene that
elite. I see what I see. I think he's elite. I
Sure.
think he's crazy. He's fucking Khabib. I
Sure.
think Khabib will always be Khabib. I think he's a legend, and we're watching a legend right now.
So, back to the fight
And
talk,
I think
though.
he will be super big and famous one day. But I think he has to meet McGregor to do that. To be a big world star, to be world star hip hop, he has to have that McGregor fight.
So, back to the fight real quick. With everything going on, with all of this media breaking, with these, dare I say, global or flat earth events happening.
Yeah, I know, it could be. It could be there's an earthquake today, too.
So,
And it all started on April 1st.
do you think it affects
And
the
3
mentality?
days later, April 1st, 3 days later, the dead has arisen. All of a sudden, here's
Woo!
McGregor back in. It's a resurrection.
He's getting deep.
It's a
He's
resurrection.
getting deep. So,
People
do you
are
think
gonna
it
lose their
affects
mind.
Max Holloway? Because this brings like the attention that we're saying. Does this affect him? He wasn't in the bus. He
This
had
is what I
nothing to
think
do.
happened, which is crazy. Tony was super friggin' bummed because he wanted it to be the Tony show the whole time, and he's done all the right fights to make it the Tony show, but it was the Khabib show. And then Khabib's done everything right to make it his show, but when Tony fell out, all of a sudden it was the Max show. What the F? And then Max did everything right to make it the Max show and had the biggest balls of all time to step in, and somebody could not handle that. And now it's the Max show.
Do you even after this fight card, everyone's going to be talking about Mac?
No. It's only if he can sit ringside. That's it. Otherwise, I think the card will be good enough. Something will happen big enough that he'll just slowly wither away again, like the same as Floyd Mayweather right now. It's like how he was on the tip of our tongues. Is he going to fight? Now, he's not even in there.
Do you think that any of the fights, and I guess I'll just say it, do you think Rose is affected because she was teetering tottering? Is it going to affect your bet for the rest of the fight card? Does it change your mentality?
No, this is why. I think because Rose, if I think she is kind of as zen as I think she is, she looks at Conor and she sees that he is a disrupted spirit and would guess that's the energy he's going to give out. Joanna, she worships McGregor. She loves McGregor. She loves what he does. She loves everything about it. I think this affects her more.
Interesting.
I think
I would go the other way.
This is why, too.
I'd go the other way.
They say, after I watched Herb and Pat's interview with Joe, they trust Rose's instinct so much that if Rose says go,
Let's
they
go.
go.
Yep.
So if Rose says stay, if she's settled and she says, okay, I'm fine, I trust that. I trust that. I don't think anyone can calm Rose down if Rose says it's time to go.
So, I will go exactly on the other way. I think that her even thinking she might not fight because she was a little shaken up, to me, puts a little bit of doubt that she might have not had it all. She could be zen enough to bring it back. And I just keep falling back to, back in the day, she used to be mentally weak. I need to get over that. Guess what? She's made leaps and bounds of growth all over her life. And maybe she can. But I'm going to keep siding with JJ. I picked JJ, so that's more proof for me. I'm putting another bet on Jay. Putting another bet on
You think
freaking
it messes with
Felder.
Khabib at all because of all this?
That's what I was going to say next as well. It could affect Khabib totally.
more than Max.
That's, if anyone,
Because
it would be.
Max has never fought for the money or ego. It's like,
Yeah,
maybe
it's
ego
a
a little bit for
competition.
pride, but it's a competition
Yep.
and he's not there for fame. Khabib has been working hard to make it Khabib time.
Yep.
And I think, and to get threatened and have this whole fight outside the octagon that you have to deal with.
This is old, also somewhat boxing tactics.
Here's
This is
something.
mental tactics type stuff
We
going
talk
on.
conspiracy too. We've even talked about doing a different podcast and something both of us geek out on. Irish
Vegas
Mafia,
shooters coming up, right?
Irish
Oh,
Mafia and Russian Mafia run deep in New York. Deep in New York.
Sure.
Where's McGregor right now? Is Khabib in any kind of trouble? Like, is this deeper than, like, what? What is all this?
There was a Korean fighter who was bribed. It came out, remember that about a year and a half ago nobody talks about? Like Young-Do Lim or one of them ended up getting paid $90,000 by the Korean Mafia. In the middle of the fight, decided it wasn't worth it. He wanted to try to win the fight, won the fight when he should have lost it, and then they're trying to kill him, so he had to go into witness protection. But then he had to tell everyone.
Pulp Fiction shit.
That really happened like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago.
Okay, where do we leave this? Is there any? Do we have to look at latest on Twitter before we fly out of here?
We should real quick. Anyone you've looked at and been affected, I feel like. Because I don't listen to anybody now prior to us doing our show, I feel like I really want to have...
avoid it too. I want to get it out
fresh and
early.
Just on me. And I feel like we're earlier than most people. But the more and more the people that I listen to, I got other people I look up to being like, dang, we got the same guy. Weird. Or just...
You know what I think's creepy? And I want to say another conspiracy. You know Leslie Smith, our girl, is all up in the union.
Sure. Trying to talk about it.
And you know we tout off on our Leslie Smith underdog pick. We talked about a few people being our Leslie Smith underdog pick this week. If Elise Herring falls out, there is a Leslie Smith underdog pick conspiracy. Because we talked about Lobov maybe being our underdog.
Yeah, true.
And we were hot on Chiesa maybe being the underdog.
He was and Ferguson was going to be ours.
Underdog.
He was going to be our underdog.
Yeah, we would have been like,
easy. Yeah.
We both agree.
Easy.
I was hearing that friggin' HQ music in my head. Yeah, so I don't know. Is there any what's Ariel say? Anything late breaking?
Other than the last Chiesa fight, let's see.
So we'll just have the Conor loop playing over and over again that you'll see on every other UFC thing you look up. Yeah, now that I've sat on this for a little bit, I'm bummed. I'm so glad no one got more hurt. Shattering glass could have gone in every fighter in their eye and ruined their career. It was super reckless. There's no fucking place for it in any sport.
Damn it! I told you it was up. I told you lay breaking. God dang it! God dang it!
Nope. JJ, no.
Ray Borg. He was next to Chiesa, but he didn't get any cuts. But his weight cut. Borg was like, "Fuck this weight cut. I'm fucked." We forgot to talk because there is other people that are affected by this.
We talked about the weight cut for Borg all over.
But either way, Borg Moreno scrapped. We're down to like 9 fucking fights, people. God dang it!
You know what? I had Moreno as an underdog.
I had Borg. It doesn't matter. It's just another fight that is getting canceled off of a dope ass card that's making it not so dope.
It is getting tired.
Yeah.
Getting tired.
That is it's Borg. I guarantee you, they're saying the commission. Borg suffered an eye injury due to the glass.
No. What did I just say aloud to you?
That's why we're coming at you at YouTube, so
All
you
right.
can see us crying. Oh, there! This is unreal.
His career, every fighter on the bus could have lost his career forever. I have no place for it.
Oh, no.
Oh my gosh, maybe I'm going to agree with Luke. Is it going to be unforgivable?
Oh, but I'm just saying Ray Borg's about to get the biggest paycheck he's ever gotten in his life.
Everybody.
People are about to get paid. Paid. Hey, Caceres, what's Ray Borg? 125? Are they fine? I was going to say Moreno Caceres.
Aren't they 135 apiece?
No, I think they're 145. Lobov is 145, and they're 125ers. Ugh. Moreno can move up. I don't think he can move down, though. Moreno could go up to 45, 20 pounds up. That'd be dope, but you can't ask that. Dang.
Oh, man.
Garbage.
This card is all over.
Trash. Ugh.
You know what's going to be the main event by the end of it? You're going to be excited, though. Ashley Evans-Smith.
That is the truth. Okay, why couldn't that have fallen out? Let that one fall out.
I thought you were going to say JJ Rose, and then I was like, I'm not even getting the card. I'm over it. I was about to just walk out of here. I'm over this.
Oh, but yeah. That was a fun fight. Damn, I was excited for that one, too.
Damn.
All right. Well, remember to like and subscribe wherever
Sorry, I'm
you
a downer.
Exactly, especially on that Tubes. hit that little notification.
Yeah, we're going to try to get this out really, really quick, so there might be minimal editing. I might do it a bunch in the beginning and then just try to fly it out here, so maybe we can get it out for your evening news edition of Lesbo and the Bean. So follow us everywhere, lesboandthebean.com. Special YouTube edition only of LaTB. You heard it here first.
Lesbo and the Bean!